My first year out of college, I was working as a music therapist at a psychiatric hospital. And it was my first day leading group there. And I sat down in the middle of this room full of people who were of all ages, all backgrounds. And I was beside myself trying to figure out what type of music we would all play together. So I tried my first song. It was a flop. Maybe 2 people were singing along to it or playing along to it. I tried my second song. It was a flop as well. And then finally, in the back of my mind, I thought, maybe I'll play that other song that I have been thinking about. And on try number 3, I started singing, if I had a hammer, I'd hammer in the morning. And exactly that happened. And I saw firsthand just how powerful the music that was shared by Peter, Paul, and Mary was to multiple generations of people, and the healing effect that it could have on those individuals. And what a gift. So tonight I'm excited because together we're going to sing, we're going to clap, we're going to cry, we're going to heal, and have this amazing time together as we celebrate the progress that's been made, but also as we just spend time together thinking about the progress that we can make outside of these walls. So I am so excited and honored to be able to introduce and welcome to the stage one of my personal heroes, Mr. Peter Yarrow.
Music speaks louder than words. It's the only thing that the whole world listens to. Music speaks louder than words. When you sing, people understand. Sometimes the love you feel inside gets lost between your heart and your mind, and the words don't really say the things you wanted them to. But then you hear in someone's song what you've been trying to say all along. And somehow, with the magic of music, the message comes through. Because music speaks louder than words, it's the only thing. It's the only thing that the whole world listens to. Music speaks louder than words. When you sing, people understand. And some of you have intuited that when I say the words prior to singing them, it's an invitation for you to join me. That was a good beginning. Let's try it again. Music speaks louder than words. Music speaks louder than words. It's the only thing that the whole world listens to. Music speaks louder than words. When you sing, people understand. Beautiful. The longer I live, the more I find that people seldom take the time to really get to know a stranger, make him a friend. But the power of a simple song can let everybody know that we all belong. Maybe singing and playing can bring us together. Maybe singing and playing can bring us together. Maybe singing and playing can bring us together again, my friends. Music speaks louder than words. It's the only thing, it's the only that the whole world listens to. Music speaks louder than words. When you sing, people understand. People understand. Beautiful. This time, I'd like you to sing it, and I'll leave you on your own for much of the chorus, just out of a kind of propensity for sadism. Had you not laughed at that, I would have worried that I was boring you. And the reason is that I'd like you to listen to the sound that you make yourselves and ask yourself, what is that sound? For me, it's not terribly different from the sound I heard, magnified enormously, at the March on Washington in 1963 for 250,000 people when they sang Blowing in the Wind and If I Had a Hammer. And that sound is not a sound that any performer can make. It only happens when people link something together and agree upon something. What is that sound? Is it the sound of exclusion? The sound of animosity? The sound of division, perhaps? The sound of he who shall not be named? I think not. I don't know what you're referring to, but I know what I was referring to. As the doctor said, you're the one showing the dirty pictures. You know what that was? When the doctor was showing... Oh, well, I won't interrupt this song to tell you that joke. Okay, here we go. Can you... Oh, now you've forgotten the words to the song. All right, here we go. Here we go. Music speaks. Music speaks louder than it's the only thing. It's the whole world. Music speaks when you sing. People understand. Whoa, once again, let's do it again. Music speaks. It's the only thing that the whole world listens to. When you sing, when you sing, people understand. When you sing, people understand. Beautiful. That sound is why I'm still doing this at the age of 79, because if I were to just get up there and sing multiple versions of Puff the Magic Dragon to myself, no, I would not be a happy camper. But when I hear that, I hear something that can be epitomized in a word or several words, and I'd like to ask you to raise your hand, not to blurt out. If you have a word that you think epitomizes that sound, I will cover my forehead like this, not because I like the fact that it's bare, but because I can see you now, and if you have a word that you think characterizes that sound that you made together, raise your hand. Yes. Unity. And that's actually the one that I go to as the one that's strongest. It is a way, and it was that way at the March on Washington, to say we are unified, not only to feel it as a as something within us, but actually articulate it. Can you raise the overall level just a little bit, my brother? Just a hair. Raise your hand when you've heard me say that. The person who's doing the sound. Oh, we did it. Okay, thank you. Okay, and just leave it just like that, thanks. So that is, it is the sound of the kind of connection that allows us to realize that there's something in our hearts that unifies us. And that experience allows us to mobilize using that in a spiritual way sometimes, but also in a way to stand up for something that we believe in, like the compassionate choices at the end of life. This then allowed people to walk away from that march and say, we will succeed. I have brothers and sisters in this game. I am not going to stop ever. And Peter, Paul, and Mary never did. And this music played that role, you know. And that's why John Lewis said at the 50th anniversary of the Selma Montgomery March, he said, without music, the civil rights movement would have been a bird without wings. So the music does, it's not, I'm not up here to entertain. If I were, I wouldn't be here. I'm up here to feel the great gift of that unity of spirit. Thank you for that suggestion. Is there another word that you have in your mind? If you do, yes, I see your hand up there. I'm sorry, can you say that louder? I'm sorry. Beautiful. Nobody's ever said that. I mean, what an original thought. Okay, it is the sound of beautiful, or beauty, yes. It is a kind of a beauty that we share together. And it is a kind of beauty that is actually physiologically noted, is a kind of beauty that we feel, a beauty of spirit, that only occurs in two circumstances that have been studied. One, when people are singing together, and the other one, when they are engaged in an exchange of romantic love. So, you're all pregnant now. Listen, if you were not of a certain age, you would not understand these words. Okay, I have permission, yes. Is there any other thought as to another word? Yes.
Harmony.
Harmony, and a harmony of spirit, not just musical harmony, so that we know that the flux between us is harmonious, and that is that sense that is poetic and so beautiful. Yes, is there one other suggestion? Yes. Well, I must have been inaccurate in my pointing, because we got compassion and grace, and they are equally so. And of course, it is appropriate. It is compassion. Compassion is getting inside of each other's hearts. That's what this music does. And that's all I've got to say, and goodbye. Thank you. It's wonderful to have shared this with you, and wonderful to feel it, to live it. When you walked into this room tonight, and you sat down together, on a scale of 1 to 10, how close did you feel to everybody else here? 11. Well, there are the guiding angels here who are like, thank you, Lisa. But let us, one being, I can't stand anybody here, and I can't believe I allowed myself to be dragged to this ridiculous event, and 10 being I'm in love with everybody here, and I want to get married to them immediately. Well, let us say that you came in at a 5. After you just heard this song, where were you? You were a 10. You went from 5 to 10. Governor? Pardon me?
I started out at 10 and I'm still a 10.
There are only a few of us who are maxed out 100% of the time. Yes, congratulations. Let me ask somebody else. Joy. Okay, that's a good number. Thank you. Okay, I appreciate it. No, that is a good word. It's okay. It's okay. Joy, yes. Even if this is an emotional song, there is a sense of joy when we sing it, like blowing in the wind. All right, another number.
Me?
Yes.
I would say 8.5.
8.5. That is an accountant. It doesn't matter. The point is that when we sing together, something is established that allows us a certain kind of empowerment and closeness. And that's the important thing to remember. And it's a joy to be here with you. And now I'm going to sing a very special song that I wrote. About 25 years ago, somebody came to my apartment and he asked me to write a song for his mother who was struggling with cancer. I don't know what compelled me to say yes, because I'd never met him before. But I did, but first I got a letter from him describing his mom, and then a letter from his father. And when I wrote the song, I sent it to them on a tape, and shortly I got a tape back from San Diego where his mother was living, and it was an image of Harriet Nestor in a car talking about how when she heard this song and shared it, she didn't feel bad and she didn't feel pain. And it became an anthem for the Wellness Center, and I'm offering it to you now this evening, and its use, if you like, in any way that you want, because you will hear what it is, and then I'll say a little bit more about it. Here it is. With your face to the wind, I see you smiling again. Spirits moving within, I know that you're gonna win. You've been down this road before. Something inside tells you what's in store. You gotta remember what we're all here for. You gotta eat up the apple and spit out the core with your face to the wind. With your face to the wind, I see you smiling again. I see you smiling again. Spirits moving within. Spirits moving within. I know that you're gonna win. Know that you're gonna win. You can get angry and you can curse. You can shout it out in rhyme or verse. You can tell me that it's never been worse. Then take that old sow's ear and turn it into a purse. With your face to the wind, I see you smiling again. I see you smiling again. Spirits moving within, I know that you're gonna win. There are gifts that come like the rain. They make the plants grow, but they drench you all the same. There are gifts that took you years to see, like the gift of the friend that you've been to me. There are hands here to comfort you, and if you need, there are tears to cry with you too. There are hearts that will sing with you, and voices to cheer when you finally made it through with your face to the wind. Oh, with your face to the wind, I see you smiling again. I see you smiling again. Spirits moving within. Spirits moving within. I know that you're gonna win. I know that you're gonna win. Sometimes it takes the dark to let us see the light. You can't have that victory unless you fought the fight. Sometimes it takes a winding road to lead us home. While you're winding round, my friend, just don't go winding round alone. With your face to the wind, oh, with your face to the wind, I see you smiling again. Spirits moving within. I know that you're gonna win. Once again, with your face to the wind. With your face to the wind. I see you smiling. I see you smiling again. Spirits moving within. Spirits moving within. I know that you're gonna win. I know that you're gonna win. I know you're gonna win. I know that you're gonna win last time. I know that you're gonna win. Now, at a certain point, I was encouraged to sing this in concerts, and people would come up afterward and they say, oh, I remember a couple came up and said, our parents are, one of our parents is in hospice. We need that song. And I made a home tape because I hadn't recorded it, and I sent it out. It was a couple that, and they said, our friend is HIV positive, and at the time, the prognosis was horrific. I sent another, said, our friend is suffering with depression, can you send it out? And hundreds of tapes went out, personal tapes, and then ultimately I recorded it. But I was thinking tonight how perfect it is, because when people have spoken to me about it, said, what is winning? You're going to win. Winning means each moment of your life, at this point on, as described by the song, is lived with dignity and beauty, and with a sense of your own empowerment and choice. And so it is a song for you, if you so desire, and the accidental circumstance of my being asked to be interviewed and then asked to be here and honor you is very, very special to me, and I'm glad to be able to share that with you. Now, I am on the board of the Connecticut Hospice and have been for more than 20 years. It's the first hospice in America, in Branford, Connecticut. And I sing for the patients there. And frankly, that's the most sacred time in my life. And it has always been so. And I had it's always the case that when I'm there and singing for the patients, there's always a bit of hanky-panky. I always fall in love with somebody. It could be It could be a male or a female. And there was once when somebody asked me to sing Lemon Tree. Would you sing Lemon Tree? And this was one of the patients, and I sang to her the whole song directly at her, and she finished, and she went, and I kissed her on the lips. That was the last affair she had. But there is another experience that I had. This is so moving to me and so indicative of what it is. You know, people say, well, what are the most powerful moments in your performing career? And of course I talk about the March on Washington and the other gatherings in which so many people were expressing their solidarity and their commitment, and music was a way to bind their hearts together. But here's something that is very personal that happened that ranks right up there. I was there, this was not long ago, to be interviewed, because they interview me sometimes because they use the interviews, and I promote, because they do various outreaches to the community, and I'm part of that. And that's my board work. In this case, they did an interview, but it was with somebody whose sister happened to be at hospice at that point, and she was sitting in the room, and I thought that was a little odd that I was doing the interview, but apparently they had hopes that there would be a conversation amongst the three of us. But right in the middle of the interview, her sister got up and walked out. And I didn't say anything. At the end of the interview, I said, what was that about? She said, well, my sister is bipolar, very, very seriously so. And she is in hospice, and so something hit her in a way, you know, and that, so I guess we can't, you know, engage her. So I had already sung to all the individuals, as well as the patients who could come together as a group. And I'd sit by the beds, and I'd say, what do you want to hear? Well, in this case, I said, listen, why don't you allow me to go to the room where she is, and I'll stand by the door and I'll sing, and you walk over to her and nod your head if it's okay for me to continue. If it's not, we'll give up, but I want to give it this try. We walked in, and there she was facing the ocean, because the Branford faces the bay. Just almost you could feel the tension and anger in her body. And I started, and her sister went over and started to sing. If you miss the train I'm on, you will know that I am gone. You can hear the whistle blow 100 miles. And her sister nodded, so I continued. 100 miles, 100 miles, 100 miles, 100 miles. You can hear the whistle blow 100 miles. And as I was singing, I saw her shoulders relax and her begin to turn to me slowly. And she turned around in her seat and faced me directly and looked at me straight in the eyes. Lord, I'm one. Lord, I'm two. Lord, I'm three. Lord, I'm four. Lord, I'm 500 miles from my home. 500 miles, 500 miles, 500 miles, 500 miles. Lord, I'm 500 on my home. And now our eyes locked with each other in one of those gazes where you just feel you are entering the soul of somebody else. Not a shirt on my back, not a penny to my name. Lord, I can't go home this away. You can join me. This away, this away, this away, this away. Lord, I can't go home this away. If you miss the train I'm on, you will know that I am gone. You can hear the whistle blow 100 miles. And I finished, and she had been a master of yoga, by the way, and I saw her hands go up like this without breaking the gaze. Her head bowed down to me, and she smiled at me. Her face broke out in a smile. And this little moment ranks in my heart way up there as the epitome of what life is all about in terms of our being in service to each other and realizing how in these little moments we can epitomize what's really important. I helped her in that moment to smile. I'll never forget it. And now I want to tell you another story that happened in hospice. I had finished singing to the individual patients and to the group. And somebody came over to me and said, my mom was in the other building. And she didn't know. She thought you were coming over there. And she wants you to sing Leaving on a Jet Plane to her. So what did I do? I went over there, and there was her mother sitting there in that state that I have come to know very well, which is somewhere between where one is when one is in a place where I am now and where one is partially anticipating that journey. Her eyes were closed. And I knelt down and I took her hand in mine, and she opened her eyes, and I was this far from her eyes, and her eyes, I don't know, she was, this was probably, 15, 20 years ago, but her eyes were as old and older than my eyes now, but those eyes were 17-year-old eyes. I want to tell you, they were hot, in the most soulful sense. So I took her hand, and I said, all my bags are packed, I'm ready to go, standing here outside your door. I hate to wake you up to say good. And as I sang to her, I realized how this song was coming out. Can you raise the level a little bit overall, please? Thank you. And I realized how this song was reading to her. And I realized that when I got to the last verse and it said, now the time has come to leave you one more time. Let me kiss you. Close your eyes and I'll be on my way. I'll dream about the days to come when I won't have to leave alone. about the times I won't have to say, kiss me and smile for me. Tell me that you'll wait for me. Hold me like you'll never let me go. I'm leaving on a jet plane. Don't know when I'll be back again. And it was all of a sudden I realized, oh my God, that's what this song means. She's going on this extraordinary journey. And I sang to her these words, and I'll tell you what she said when I sing the song with you, and we get to that. But I want you to do something in this song that's very unusual. I only have started doing it a couple of days after the last election. I went to Michigan, and I hadn't done any concerts, and the people walked in, and I saw they were troubled. No matter how they voted, they were troubled. And I said to them, when I came, I said, I've never asked anybody to do this before, but I'm going to ask you tonight. How many of you have ever gotten naked in public? No, I didn't say that. I said, when I get to the second verse, second chorus of this song, I want you to put your arms around the people next to you. Both of them. Try not to clock your friend in the jaw with your elbow. Put your arm around, and then, while you're singing the song, sway back and forth like, all we are saying is give peace a chance, but instead of it, oh, kiss me and smile for me. Okay, not until the second chorus. Some of you are going to be overeager. Wait until the second chorus. And think of this song in the terms that I thought of it when I sang it to this woman. A moment I will never forget. All my bags are packed, I'm ready to go. Standing here outside your door. I hate to wake you up to say goodbye, but the dawn is breaking, it's early morn. The taxi's waiting, he's blowing his horn. Already I'm so lonesome, I could cry. Kiss me and smile for me. Kiss me and smile for me. Tell me that you'll wait for me. Hold me like you'll never let me go. I'm leaving on a jet plane. I don't know when I'll be back again. Oh, babe, I hate to go. There's so many times I've let you down. Many times I've played around. I'll tell you now, they don't mean a thing. Every place I'll go, I'll think of you. Every song I'll sing for you. When I come back, I'll wear your wedding. Put your arms around each other. Arms around each other. Here we go. Arms around each other. Kiss me and smile for me. Tell me that you'll wait for me. Hold me like you'll never let me go. I'm leaving on a jet plane. I don't know when I'll be back again. Oh, babe, I hate to go. Keep swaying back and forth. Now the time has come to leave you one more time and let me kiss you. Close your eyes, I'll be on my way. Dream about the days to come. Dream about the days to come when I won't have to leave alone, about the times I won't have to kiss me and smile, kiss me and smile for me. Tell me that you'll wait for me, hold me like you'll never let me. I'm leaving on a jet plane, I'm leaving on a jet plane. Don't know when I'll be back again. Leaving on a jet plane, leaving on a jet plane. I don't know when I'll be back again. Oh, babe, I hate to go, I hate to go. Now I'm going to tell you why I asked you to put your arms around each other and why I asked those people to. And this is the way I'm going to explain it. Would you please turn to the person that you know least? In other words, if you're looking at your spouse, turn to the other person and say to them, "That was fun." And now, having done that, this is what I asked the people to do after having said that, and they all said this was fun. Turn to that same person and say, "I don't know how you voted, but we can still be friends." I thought that would be appropriate in this moment. The equivalent of my taking a knee tonight is sharing that with you, which is a prayer that we do not allow ourselves to be manipulated into thinking that we have to hate one another because we voted differently. In fact, I was in South Lebanon where 10 Trump voters and 10 non-Trump voters were together for 2.5 days, and we made a television special. The group is called Better Angels, and going into it, you will see this. I will make that clip available to you. You will see people very apprehensive, and at the end, it's very clear. We can disagree and agree to disagree. We can still love each other as Americans. The grave danger now, grave danger, and this relates to everything that we're doing here, is that we become disunited and forget that we have various paths and that people in our country, unbalanced and almost ubiquitously, are good people of goodwill who want the best for our country, and we have to embrace them even if they drank the Kool-Aid or if we drank the Kool-Aid. Okay, now I'm going to sing a very important song for you that I just need to sing because it is an anthem of caring and compassion. And when I heard this, it caused me to write a song, to create an organization called Operation Respect that has a program in 22,000 schools in America, 63% of the schools in Israel, both Arabic and Jewish, in Ukraine, in Hong Kong, in Croatia, all over the world. And this song, this music, was what compelled me 20 years ago to create this, and it is a free program, and it's called Operation Respect, and the program is called Don't Laugh at Me After This Song. And if you are an educator, it is free. You can get it at www.operationrespect.org. It is used in Oregon. It is used in every state. I'm a little boy with glasses, the one they call a geek. A little girl who never smiles, 'cause I got braces on my teeth. And I know how it feels to cry myself to sleep. Yes, I am the kid on every playground. I'm the one that's chosen last. A single teenage mother trying to overcome my past. You don't have to be my friend, but is it too much to ask? Don't laugh at me, don't call me names. Don't get your pleasure from my pain. In God's eyes, we're all the same. Someday we'll all have perfect wings. Don't laugh at me. I am the beggar on the corner. You passed me on the street. I wouldn't be out here begging if I had enough to eat. And don't think I don't notice that our eyes never meet. Don't laugh at me. Don't laugh at me. Don't call me names. Don't call me names. Don't get your pleasure. Don't get your pleasure from my pain. From my pain. In God's eyes. In God's eyes we're all the same. Someday we'll all have perfect wings. Don't laugh at me. I'm fat, I'm thin, I'm short, I'm tall, I'm deaf, I'm blind. Hey, aren't we all? I'm black, I'm white, and I am brown. I'm Jewish, I'm Christian, I'm Muslim, I'm Buddhist. I was born in Sarajevo. I was born in Kosovo. I was born in Northern Ireland. I was born in Africa. I'm Hutu. I'm Tutsi. I'm gay. I'm lesbian. I am American, Indian. I'm very, very young. I'm quite aged. I was born in Iraq and Afghanistan, born in the Sudan, in Mexico, Canada, the United States of America. I'm very wealthy. I'm very, very poor. Don't laugh at me. Please, don't laugh at me. Please, be kind to me. Compassionate, please. Be my friend. Please accept me just the way I am. No one should be left out, Lisa. We all should be included. Someday we'll all be perfect, but we are not perfect now, so don't laugh at me. Together, don't laugh at me. Don't laugh at me, don't call me names, don't call me, don't get your pleasure, don't get your pleasure from my pain, from my, in God's eyes, in God's eyes, all the same, we're all the same, someday, someday, we'll all have perfect wings, don't laugh at me, and because now in our country, the most important thing that we can do, more than anything else, is to assert our humanity, our compassion, our empathy for one another. More important than anything. And on that level, compassion and choices is so essential, as is Operation Respect. I'm grateful to say. And for therefore we sing, don't laugh at me, don't call me names, don't get your pleasure from my, in God's eyes. In God's eyes we are all the same. Someday we'll all have perfect wings. Don't laugh at me. My country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty. It is of thee that I sing. Don't laugh at me. Thank you, thank you. Thank you. I want to leave you with a song of great hopefulness and joy. And because, can you raise the overall level a little bit, please? 1, 2, thank you. Now, what I'd like to do is sing Puff the Magic Dragon. And the reason I think this is important to sing is because there's a kind of a moral here. And what is the moral of the story? If a rumor lasts long enough, you begin to believe it. That's not the moral. There is a rumor about this song that is incorrect. I want to correct your impression. Puff the Magic Dragon was never about grass, or weed, or pot. Why do I say that? Why can I say that? Because in 1959, when it was written, and I was a senior at Cornell, it had not arrived on the East Coast yet. The worst thing we did at Cornell at that time was to have beer in the dorms, or a co-ed in the dorms, or go on a panty raid. Look, Lenny Lipton and I, who wrote the song, could not have written a song about a dragon that had a subtext about drugs. We didn't have the data. But within 6 months, it came to the East Coast after I graduated, and by that point, I could have written it many times. That having been said, let me tell you about Puff the Magic Dragon. People say, okay, then what is it about? Well, it's about that sad, sweet, sad time in our lives when we have to leave childish things. We can't just remain, if you're Jewish, and I know all of you are Jewish. They told me, they said, they all converting for the concert. If you're Jewish, what guides your Jewishness is something called tikkun olam, which means that it is not your responsibility alone to heal the world, but you must not shrink from doing your part. And so it is that children have to go into the domain of doing their part to heal a very troubled world. It will always be, in some ways, a world that needs healing. And it will always need us to gather our hearts together with this kind of unity, with this kind of harmony, with this kind of beauty, and stand together. And so it is that Jackie Paper had to leave. But here's the good news. There are 3 pieces of good news, actually 4. The first piece of good news is that if your ideals remain strong when you grow up, your dragon will remain strong too within you. That's number 1. Number 2, Jackie Paper grew up, went to college, graduate school, and became a community organizer. Fell in love with another community organizer, and they had a child, and at some point she needed to go to Honolulu, and she said so. Dad, can I go to Honolulu? And indeed, she did, and there was Puff, and Puff looked at her, and he said, Jackie. She said, no, I'm Wendy. I look like Jackie, but I'm his daughter. Oh, said Jackie, what's a daughter? What, Puff, what's a daughter? She said, well, Jackie's a little boy, I'm a little girl, and you and I can play. And Puff said, but how is Jackie? I missed him so, it's been so many years. And she said, he loves you, Puff, he misses you so much, but he can't come back here, but I'm here. And the good news is, Puff, and this is number, little girls can go to Honolulu. Okay? Can I have a little cheer for that? Also, no, more good news, Puff is no longer lonely. Okay? So you have the 4 pieces of good news. Puff is not about grass. Little girls can go to Honolulu. Puff's no longer lonely. And when you grow up, if you keep your idealism, your Jackie Paper and your Puff will remain strong and vital within you. Now I'm going to sing it, and I'd like you all to come up, all of the children here, to come up and sing it with me. Because of the demographic, we're going to have to redefine the word child. Anybody 70 or younger? The first condition is that you be able to stand up. You can come on stage. There we are. Wonderful. Now we're talking. And I'm going to ask my son, Christopher Yarrow, who frequently comes on the road with me and plays bass and sings with me, to take the other microphone to sing it, the lead with me. Can you bring on his microphone? I'm going to.
1, 2.
That's right.
Hello.
Now don't stand in a line. Do not stand in a line. Anything that looks like ROTC for me makes me totally nuts.
Come on in. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
Can you?
Do you want to switch?
No, come over here.
There.
Come on over here.
There you
Everybody clump up.
Come on in closer.
Come in closer.
Come and join me right about here.
Everybody
There you go.
come in closer.
Unless you're being blocked too much.
Okay, this is fantastic. This is a beautiful thing on stage. Okay, here we go. Okay. We're singing Puff the Magic Dragon. All right? And Governor, get on stage. Don, get on stage. Yes, and the most beautiful speech by your fearless leader, Barbara. I was telling her how that was one of the most beautifully poetic, crafted speeches that it just brought me to tears. Barbara, will you please come on stage? There she is. Okay, here we go. Puff the magic dragon lived by the sea, and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Little Jackie Paper loved that rascal Puff and brought him strings and sealing wax and other fancy stuff. Everybody sing Puff, the magic dragon lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Puff, the magic dragon lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Together they would travel on a boat with billowed sails, and Jackie kept a lookout perched on Puff's gigantic tail. Noble kings and princes would bow whene'er they came. Pirate ships would lower their flags when Puff roared out his name. Everybody sing Puff, the magic dragon lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Puff, the magic dragon lived by the sea. Applause! And frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Oh, Puff, the magic dragon lived by the sea. Applause! And frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Oh, Puff, the magic dragon lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Applause!
Magic dragon lived by the sea and frolicked in the
Stop a second, stop. Anna. There's a problem here. I wrote this song 57 years ago. How is it possible that you know the words and are singing? Anna, who taught you this song?
My mom.
Anna, I am so happy. Give me a hug, sweetheart. Thank you. Puff.
The magic dragon lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu.
Puff, the magic dragon lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu.
Applause! Lived by the... I see a governor. And frolicked in
The autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. The magic dragon lived by the sea.
in a land called Honolulu. Okay, now we're going to sing the last verses. And Christopher and I will sing the last verses, and then you'll sing the last choruses in the present tense. Puff the Magic Dragon lives by the sea. But when we're singing the last verses, just hum along. I know you'll be forgetful, but we'll indulge you in that. Here we go. Humming first. A dragon lives forever, but not so little girls and boys humming. Painted wings and giant's rings make way for other toys. Oh, Puff the magic dragon lives by the sea and frolics in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Oh, Puff the magic lives by the sea, lives by the sea, and frolics in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. His head was bent in sorrow.
His head was bent in sorrow, and green scales fell like rain. Puff no longer went to play along the cherry lane without his lifelong friend. Puff could not be brave, so Puff, that mighty dragon, sadly slipped into his cave.
Together Puff the magic dragon lives.
Puff the magic dragon lives by the sea and frolics in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Oh, Puff the magic dragon lives by the sea and frolics in the autumn mist
In a land called Honolulu. Yeah! All right, everybody stay on stage. Everybody stay on stage. Everybody stay on stage. We're going to sing one more song. This is our goodbye song, but it's the right song to sing together. Because this is a song that says, it tells us what the challenge is, and then it tells us how to meet the challenge. Thank you very much. Somebody noted that I was about to fall all on my wrist. That's right. Thank you. Here is the challenge. Oh, okay. The challenge is if we do not focus our lives and our hearts with compassion, with caring, if we do not hammer out a warning, if we do not ring out danger, that compassion and caring will disappear, we are in trouble because justice and freedom are in jeopardy, which are the natural components, partners, cousins, mothers, brothers, sisters of freedom and justice. And so in this song, Pete Seeger says, we must hammer these out. Can you please raise the level back to where it was? Thank you. Pete Seeger says, we must do that. And then in the last line of each chorus, he tells us how to do it. He says, the love between my brothers and my sisters, the building block of sustaining justice and freedom is love. Every time we are loving to one another, in hospice, in any of these circumstances, as have been discussed and described, we are building the foundation for the sustaining of compassion, empathy, justice, and freedom. They are locked together. Let's sing this in memory of Pete Seeger and in great admiration for all he gave us. Well, I've still got a hammer, and I've still got a bell, and I've still got a song to sing all over this land. It's still the hammer of justice. It's still the bell of freedom. It's still the song about a love between my brothers and my sisters all over this land. Oh, if I had a hammer, I'd hammer in the morning. Wait. Can you turn on the lights? Can everybody stand up? Put your arms around each other. Let's take this last song together. Here we go. Turn on the house lights as loud as as bright as they can be. If I had a hammer, I'd hammer in the morning, I'd hammer in the evening, all over this land. I'd hammer out danger, I'd hammer out warning, I'd hammer out love between my brothers and my sisters all over this land. Ooh, I had a bell, I'd ring it in the morning, I'd ring it in the evening, all over this land. I'd ring out danger, I'd ring out warning, I'd ring out love between my brothers and my sisters all over this land. Ooh, if I had a song, I'd sing it in the morning, I'd sing it in the morning, I'd sing it in the evening, all over this land, I'd sing out danger, I'd sing out warning, I'd sing out love between my brothers and my sisters all over this land. Ooh, well, I had a hammer and I've got a bell and I've got a song to sing all over this land. It's the hammer of justice, it's the bell of freedom, the song about love between my brothers and my sisters all over this land. A hammer of justice, it's the bell of freedom, the song about love between my brothers and my sisters all over this land.
Good morning.
Take a bow, take a bow, take a bow, take a bow.
Bow together, everybody, to the audience.
Take a bow, take a bow, take a bow.
Thank you, Peter Yarrow. We have all fallen in love tonight, I think, and we will never forget this evening. Thank you so much. Thank you for your generosity. Thank you for keeping us going. Good night.